Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Marc Isaac Potter Presents. We're visiting today with Joel.luebkeman, who is an amazing human being. I'm somewhat prejudiced. I think he's marvelous. And we're going to ask him some questions. We're going to grill him on his real estate expertise. Joel, tell us a little bit about yourself, where you grew up, that kind of thing, what kind of education you have.
Sure. Thanks, Mark. And
Yeah,
it's a pleasure to be here. Thank you for
you're
having
very
me.
welcome. Yeah.
So I am a third generation Californian. I was
Okay.
born in Walnut Creek, California. I grew up
Okay.
in Castro Valley, California, and went to high school there. I went to the University of California at Davis. I was an economics major, and I got my MBA from the University of San Francisco. I've lived in San Francisco for over 30 years now. I moved from the East Bay. I lived in Richmond, California briefly, and then moved into
Okay.
the city.
Okay.
So,
Well, tell
yeah.
tell us about your community activities. What kind of nonprofits do you like to be involved with, et cetera?
Sure. So, one thing I'm very passionate about real estate, and real estate is a way for individuals to really build wealth and security. And so, I am on the board of a nonprofit called Home Ownership SF. And
Okay.
in San Francisco, when new developments go in condominiums, a certain percentage of those units have to be reserved for low and moderate income borrowers, home buyers. And
Okay.
so the nonprofit that I'm involved with does the home buyer education for those individuals and coordinates with other nonprofits that do the actual delivery. And so we help coordinate the
Okay.
curriculum. So really makes a difference in people's lives.
That's beautiful. That's wonderful. Tell us a little bit about how you started in real estate. How long have you been a realtor? How many people have you helped? That kind of thing.
Yeah. So, when I got out of college, I went to work for a bank. I went to work for First Nationwide. Well, I worked for Wells Fargo for a couple of years, and then I went to work for First Nationwide Bank. I don't know if Bay Area natives may
Oh, I
remember them. They
I am
were
sorry. Yeah, I really am familiar with the First Nationwide.
Yeah, yeah. So I worked for them. That was sort of I after kind of learning the basics of real estate and real estate finance at Wells, I
Okay.
went there and continued my real estate career. I worked for Bank of America. I did some middle market commercial lending at Bank of America, lending to actual companies for working capital and things like
Okay.
that, working capital lines. And then
Right.
I worked for a mortgage insurance company for about 18 years. And I
Cheers.
had I had had my real estate license for many years, and so when I worked for that mortgage insurance company, they moved all of our operations moved uh, to North Carolina and got rid of their California employees. So I thought this was an opportunity for me to do
Do
something a little
something
bit more.
else.
Yeah, a little more
Okay.
entrepreneurial that
Okay.
I'd always had an interest in. So I've been a realtor now for about 8 years.
Okay. Okay. And how you like it? And how many people do you think you've helped over the years?
Yeah, so boy, that's a good question. I have boy, I think probably well in excess of 200 people that I've had as
Geez,
clients.
that's wonderful.
And
People like
and
statistics, so that's why I
yeah,
asked that question.
yeah.
How does your real estate business run day to day, would you say?
Yeah, so being a real estate agent, and I work for Compass Real Estate here in San Francisco,
Okay.
is that it's a bit sometimes like being an emergency room physician. You really have to do a lot of triaging,
Okay.
and you wake up in the morning, you think you're going to go down one path, and you get a call from a client, and they want help with something, or they have
Yeah.
questions, and it takes you down a completely different path. But
Okay.
it's all about being client driven. And when I got into real estate early on, a seasoned veteran told me, you take care of your clients and they'll take care of you. So
Very nice.
my real estate business is predominantly referral based. So past
Okay.
clients referring me business.
Okay. Now, is there anything going on in the real estate industry right now that you'd like to comment about?
Yeah, excellent questions. So, I think recently in this middle of March that we have the headlines have been just this past week have been filled with a settlement that the National Association of Realtors reached relative to a lawsuit that was filed in Missouri, and that was a home seller who alleged that he paid too much to sell his home because the buyers did not have the right to negotiate their real estate commission.
Hmm.
And the National Association of Realtors had certain codes of ethics and the way that realtors should operate. And part of that
Right.
was that as a matter of transparency, that the commissions that were to be paid by the buyer's broker or paid to the buyer's broker should appear on the MLS. And it
Hmm.
was to actually, it came from a very good place about 30 years ago when there was, because of that lack of transparency, there was things going on that weren't in the best interest of agents and consumers. And so part of the settlement now. It had nothing to do with the rate of commissions. And I think the media has pretty much universally gotten it wrong. It had nothing to do with the commissions that are charged. Commissions have always been negotiable and they vary dramatically from different parts of the country. But what
Okay.
this said, the settlement said, is that commissions will no longer be part of the MLS. It won't be shown. And it was something now that will be negotiated separately between the buyer and their agent and the seller and their agent. So that was
Okay.
sort of and I think the biggest thing is it's going to have if the buyer is going to be responsible for paying their agent's commission, um, it's primarily, and the seller refuses to pay, because I think you're still going to have a lot of sellers who recognize that that's in the best interest of selling their home. It's really
Yeah.
going to hurt first-time home buyers. And so
Okay.
that's what I think we're a little concerned about, because somebody
Yeah.
scratching to come up with 5% down, it's tough for them to also come up with their agent's commission.
Okay. So we have about 30 seconds. I need to use that to sign off. Tell me, what way do you prefer people to get in touch with you? Phone, text, email?
Yeah, thanks, Mark. Yeah, I really prefer that people give me a call, and my phone number is 415-242-1454. And then I also have my email address, and you can also text me at that number as well. And Mark, I don't know if you put the email address up on the screen later.
We're gonna put 4 lines of type up as a tag, and
Okay, great.
I'm gonna write you an email and ask you to pick
Okay.
which things you want up there. So, ladies and gentlemen, we've been visiting today with Joel.luebkeman, and he's a wonderful human being, quite a humanitarian, helping the people with moderate incomes. I want to thank you all for viewing. Joel, thanks very much, and we'll see you next time.
Yeah, thank you,
Take
Mark.
care. Take care. Talk to you
Bye-bye.
soon.